Welcome back, everyone. If you thought you knew what a tennis superstar looked like, if you thought you understood the economics of a massive sporting event, I need you to throw everything you know right out the window. Today, we are talking about a phenomenon that is absolutely tearing through the sports world, leaving executives, tournament directors, and longtime tennis purists completely speechless. We are looking at an unprecedented level of fan frenzy, and it is all centered around one name, Alex Eala. The title of today's deep dive says it all. Cincinnati cannot handle Alex Eala Mania, and ticket prices have absolutely skyrocketed as the stadium sells out. We are talking about a situation where the demand is so impossibly high, the ticketing infrastructure simply collapsed. It is a story of economics, of national pride, of a generational talent, and of a sport that is waking up to a brand new reality. For decades, the Lindner Family Tennis Center in Mason, Ohio, has hosted the Cincinnati Open. It is a prestigious event, a WTA 1000 tournament, a staple of the summer hardcourt swing leading up to the U.S. Open. This $260 million facility has seen the greatest to ever pick up a racket. It has witnessed the elegance of Roger Federer, the relentless grit of Rafael Nadal, the absolute dominance of Serena Williams. But according to the tournament director, Bob Moran, they have never, and I mean never, seen anything quite like this. The numbers we're looking at are frankly staggering. A standard ticket package that originally started at $275 was quietly bumped up, and then it was bumped up again. Suddenly, it was listed at $470. That is an unbelievable 70% increase in a matter of days. And you know what happened? Fans did not blink. They kept buying. They bought every single available seat until the stadium was completely sold out. On the secondary resale market, the desperation to secure a seat to watch a 21-year-old from the Philippines has pushed prices to absurd extremes, with tickets for Eala's sessions going for anywhere between $86 for the absolute nosebleeds to an eye-watering $685. But let us rewind for a second and fully digest what occurred the morning these tickets went live. The demand was not a steady stream. It was a tidal wave. We have reports that the ticketing system was completely overwhelmed before 6 o'clock in the morning. Organizers were frantically scrambling in the early hours of the day, desperately trying to find solutions before 9 o'clock just to handle an unexpected deluge of traffic that threatened to crash their entire network. This was not the final of a Grand Slam. This was not a match featuring a retiring legend on a farewell tour. This was the lead up to the opening rounds of the Cincinnati Open, driven entirely by the arrival of the 17th seed, world number 20, Alex Eala. What we are witnessing is something the media is now officially calling the Eala effect. It is a shockwave of Filipino and Filipino-American support that is fundamentally changing the way tennis tournaments operate. It is completely disrupting the traditional hierarchy of the Women's Tennis Association Tour. Usually, attention and prime court placements are strictly reserved for the top 5 players, the multi-time Grand Slam champions, the established veterans of the sport. But Alex Eala is forcing a massive rethink. She brings an entire nation with her every time she steps onto the court. The support is vibrant, it is loud, it is deeply passionate, and most importantly for the business of tennis, it is incredibly lucrative. The sheer purchasing power of her fan base is putting tournament organizers in an impossible position. They are caught between honoring the traditional seedings and caving to the absolute reality that Alex Eala is the hottest ticket in town. And so, here we are in Cincinnati, watching a tournament try to contain a phenomenon that cannot be contained. They doubled the prices, hoping to cool the market or capitalize on the rush. And yet, the stadium is still packed to the rafters. Fans are flying in from across the country, wearing the colors of the Philippine flag, chanting her name, turning a quiet country club atmosphere into a roaring, electrifying arena. We have to ask ourselves, what does this mean for the future of the sport? Is this a new normal? And how on earth did a 21-year-old manage to command this level of global attention? Grab a seat, hit that like button, and make sure you're subscribed, because today we are breaking down every single angle of this historic moment. We will look at her incredible run on the court, the unbelievable numbers off the court, and what happens next as Alex Eala prepares for the biggest matches of her young, explosive career. To truly understand the magnitude of what is happening right now in Ohio, we have to look at the immediate context of Alex Eala's season. This is not just a hype train built on empty promises. This is a phenomenon backed by absolute, undeniable results. The 21-year-old arrived at the Cincinnati Open riding the crest of a massive wave. Let us retrace her steps over the past 2 months. This impressive spell really kicked into high gear when she reached the 4th round at Wimbledon, proving that her game translates beautifully to the grass. But it was her arrival on the North American hard courts that truly set the tennis world on fire. Just a couple weeks ago, Eala marched into the nation's capital and achieved something truly spectacular. She captured her very first WTA 500 title at the Mubadala DC Open in Washington. And she did not just scrape by. She defeated the world number 3, American favorite Jessica Pegula, in a thrilling final that ended with a commanding 6-0 shutout in the 3rd set. That victory sent a clear message to the locker room. Alex Eala has arrived, and she is a legitimate threat to anyone on the other side of the net. Following that triumph, she headed north to the Canadian Open in Toronto, another massive WTA 1000 event, where she once again proved her consistency by reaching the 4th round. By the time she touched down in Cincinnati, she had won 11 of her last 13 matches. She was carrying a career-high ranking of world number 20. And that is where the Eala effect really began to manifest in the ticket sales. You see, this pattern of overwhelming fan support has now been documented across 3 major North American cities. In Washington, tournament officials were stunned to discover that at least 80% of all ticket requests were specifically for Alex Eala's matches. Let that sink in. In a tournament featuring multiple top 10 players, 8 out of 10 fans were there for one person. Then came Toronto. The organizers originally scheduled her on the grandstand court, a respectable arena that holds about 2,800 fans. But the moment the schedule was released, it became blatantly obvious that it was going to be a disaster. The crowd waiting to get in was so massive, the organizers were actually forced to scramble and relocate her match to center court just to accommodate the sheer volume of humanity that showed up to watch her hit a tennis ball. Now, we arrive in Cincinnati, and the tournament organizers thought they were prepared. They saw what happened in D.C. They saw what happened in Toronto. They thought, okay, we will raise the prices. We will bump up a standard package from $275 to almost $500. Surely that will thin the crowd out. Surely that will bring the demand back down to a manageable level. But they drastically underestimated the loyalty and the passion of the Filipino community. The stadium sold out anyway. The Chronicle noted in a recent article, and I quote, "Eala no longer needs a title to command attention. She has changed the economics of attention itself." End quote. That is a profound statement. In the past, players had to rack up grand slams and spend years at world number 1 to generate this kind of box office draw. Alex Eala is doing it at 21, as the world number 20. So, how did she perform once she actually stepped onto the court in Cincinnati amid all this swirling chaos and skyrocketing ticket prices? In a word, dominantly. Because she came in as the 17th seed, she was awarded an opening round bye, meaning her first action was in the 2nd round against a Romanian player, Elena Gabriela Ruse. Now, Ruse is a solid competitor, ranked 74th in the world, and she actually held a mental edge over Eala. The two had met just 2 years prior at the 2024 U.S. Open qualifiers, where Ruse defeated Eala in 3 sets. This was an opportunity for redemption, and Eala did not waste a single second. When the match began on Halsom Stadium 3, Eala suffered a minor hiccup, losing her serve in the very opening game. But what happened next was a masterclass in aggressive, focused hard-court tennis. Eala immediately broke back, and then she did not look back. She won the next 9 consecutive games. Let me repeat that, 9 games in a row at a WTA 1000 event. She broke the 28-year-old Romanian veteran 5 consecutive times. Eala was hitting her spots, dictating the baseline rallies, and moving with incredible fluidity. The stats from that abbreviated match are staggering. Eala won 43 of the 62 points played. She was up 6-1. 3-0, absolutely cruising toward the finish line. During this onslaught, the skies darkened and a severe thunderstorm rolled into Mason, Ohio, forcing a 90-minute weather delay. The players retreated to the locker room. Unfortunately, during the break, Elena Gabriela Ruse who had received treatment on her right ankle right before the storm hit, realized she could not continue. She pulled the plug on her effort, retiring from a match and sending Eala through to the third round via walkover. During her post-match press conference, Eala showed tremendous class and maturity. When asked about her performance, she said, "I think that I was playing well. I felt the ball good, was really focused, and tried to keep myself in the zone. I think I did a good job of that." She immediately shifted the focus to her opponent, adding, of course, nobody likes to finish a match with a retirement. First and foremost, I just want to wish Gabriela Ruse a speedy recovery. Injuries aren't fun, so I hope she recovers soon. That victory, while shortened by injury, was still incredibly significant for her career trajectory. By advancing to the third round in Cincinnati, Eala collected 65 crucial ranking points, bringing her live total to 2,221 points. This guaranteed a massive milestone. Eala is now projected to climb 3 spots to a brand new career high ranking of world number 17 in the live WTA rankings. The ascent is steady, it is real, and it is proving that she belongs in the upper echelon of the sport. But the road does not get any easier, and the spotlight is only going to get brighter. Up next for Alex Eala is a blockbuster third-round clash that has everyone in the tennis world salivating. She will face the American powerhouse, Amanda Anisimova. Anisimova is the 9th seed in Cincinnati, currently ranked world number 10. She is a 2-time Grand Slam finalist, a wildly talented player who just defeated Turkish qualifier Zeynep Sanmez in straight sets, 6-2, 6-3, to book her ticket to the third round. This is going to be a phenomenal contrast of styles and a massive test for Eala. Interestingly, this will be the very first career meeting between the 21-year-old Filipina and the 24-year-old American. When asked about the upcoming matchup, Anisimova was highly complimentary, but also very aware of the environment she is about to walk into. She told the press, "I haven't played her before. She's been having such an incredible season, an incredible year. Very great player with a lot of fans. So I'm really looking forward to that." Anisimova then added the quote that really tells the whole story. "I know that it's probably going to be a very packed stadium, so I'm sure it will be really fun." Anisimova knows exactly what is coming. She knows she is not just playing Alex Eala. She is playing the entire crowd. The Lindner Family Tennis Center is going to be vibrating. It will feel like a Davis Cup or Billie Jean King Cup tie, but happening right in the middle of Ohio. The pressure on both women will be immense. For Anisimova, she has to block out the noise, handle the partisan crowd, and try to use her immense power to hit through Eala's defense. For Eala, the challenge is managing the incredible expectations of her devoted fan base while trying to secure the biggest win of her career against a top 10 opponent. If Eala manages to win this match and reach the fourth round, her points will surge to 2,276. Every single match right now is historic. Every single swing of the racket carries away to a nation that is absolutely starving for tennis glory. This situation in Cincinnati is bringing up massive, overarching questions about the structure of tennis tournaments. We are seeing a complete clash between tradition and modern, fan-driven economics. For years, court scheduling was a strict meritocracy based on current rankings and past Grand Slam glory. If you were the number 1 seed, you got center court at night, period. But what happens when the number 17 seed is outdrawing the number 1 seed by a margin of 4-1? What happens when a player like Eala guarantees a sold-out stadium and a massive spike in food, beverage, and merchandise sales? Bob Moran and the Cincinnati tournament officials are under intense pressure right now. They have to rethink crowd flow, security protocols, and court assignments. Do you put Eala on center court to satisfy the thousands of fans who paid top dollar, even if it means bumping a higher-ranked veteran to a secondary court? It is a fascinating dilemma, and it proves that Eala is disrupting the business of tennis just as much as she is disrupting the actual tennis rankings. As we wrap up this incredibly deep dive into the absolute madness happening at the Cincinnati Open, we really have to take a step back and appreciate the magnitude of the Alex Eala story. We are living in an era where sports media is constantly looking for the next big thing, the next generational superstar to carry the torch after the legends retire. For a long time, the Women's Tennis Association has been searching for that magnetic, undeniable force that can transcend the sport, fill stadiums on a Tuesday afternoon, and generate the kind of viral buzz that cannot be bought or manufactured by a marketing team. What we are seeing with Alex Eala is entirely organic. It is a genuine, undeniable connection between an athlete and a global diaspora that is immensely proud of her accomplishments. The skyrocketing ticket prices in Cincinnati are a stark, undeniable metric of her value. When a standard ticket jumps from $275 to nearly $500, and the resale market is asking for almost $700 for early round matches, you are no longer just a tennis player. You are a pop culture event. You are an essential experience. The fact that the organizers tried to curb the demand by raising the barrier to entry, only to watch the stadium sell out anyway, is one of the most remarkable storylines of the entire tennis season. It proves that the Eala effect is utterly immune to traditional pricing strategies. Her fans are not casual observers. They are deeply invested, committed supporters who view her matches as a celebration of identity and national pride. But this phenomenon also sparks a very important and slightly controversial conversation about fairness and accessibility in modern sports. Is it right for a tournament to double its prices overnight simply because they realize they have a golden goose in the draw? By capitalizing on this intense demand, are the tournament organizers exploiting the passion of the Filipino fans? Or are they simply practicing basic supply and demand economics in a free market? It is a tough pill to swallow for the average local tennis fan in Ohio who suddenly finds themselves completely priced out an event they have attended for years, simply because Alex Eala happens to be on the schedule. This tension between maximizing revenue and maintaining an accessible event for the local community is something the WTA and tournament directors across the globe are going to have to address very soon, because Alex Eala is not going anywhere. She is 21 years old. She is climbing the rankings faster than anyone anticipated, and this wave of fan support is only going to get larger as she progresses deeper into these massive tournaments. Looking ahead, all eyes are fixed on that highly anticipated third-round matchup against world number 10 Amanda Anisimova. It is a clash that is everything. Contrasting styles, massive stakes with live rankings, and a crowd atmosphere that is guaranteed to be absolutely electric. Anisimova is a brilliant player, a two-time Grand Slam finalist who is no stranger to the big stage. But she has never faced the sheer, unadulterated wall of sound that accompanies an Alex Eala match. How Anisimova handles the pressure and how Eala manages the soaring expectations will determine who walks away with a ticket to the fourth round. If Eala can somehow pull off the upset, it will not just validate her recent title in Washington. It will firmly establish her as a top-tier contender capable of beating the very best players in the world on any surface at any time. So, I turn the question over to you, the viewers. What do you make of the absolute chaos in Cincinnati? Do you think it is fair for tournaments to dynamically increase ticket prices by 70% or more just because they know Alex Eala is playing? Is this brilliant business, or is it unfair to fans? And looking at the court, how do you see this massive showdown with Amanda Anisimova playing out? Can the 21-year-old Filipino star continue this miraculous run? Or will the experience and power of the American top 10 player prove to be too much? I want to hear all of your thoughts, your predictions, and your takes on the business of tennis. Drop a comment down below and let's get a real discussion going. If you enjoyed this comprehensive deep dive, please do me a massive favor and smash that like button. It helps the channel tremendously and ensures we can keep bringing you this level of detailed sports analysis. If you have not already, make sure you hit subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss an update on the Alex Eala phenomenon, the WTA Tour, and all the biggest breaking news in the world of tennis. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for being the most engaged sports community on the platform. And until next time, I will see you all in the next video.